Of the nearly $400 million set aside by the state for Flint, the state budget office's report shows a little more than $46 million, or 12%, went to economic development in the city. The problem? The people affected by the water crisis say they have bigger concerns. The Capitol Theater, Ferris Wheel Building, Mott Community College Culinary Arts Teaching Facility, all funded by taxpayer money intended to help Flint recover from the water crisis. At least that's what the Flint Emergency Appropriations and Expenditure spreadsheet shows us. This is the report we first took you through in January.
I'm gonna just smile because stuff like that makes me angry.
Adding up the numbers, $46,382,475 spent on economic development in the city of Flint, beginning in 2016 when the water crisis was declared an emergency. The money was dished out to both the Michigan Strategic Fund and Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and then they passed it on. Going line by line, the Michigan Strategic Fund, or MSF, gave $5.5 million to the Capitol Theater project. The reason listed, quote, support for Capitol Theater renovation and, quote, creation of 82 jobs. The report also shows the MSF gave $3 million to iSource Worldwide and SkyPoint Ventures for the creation of 100 jobs. And $5.7 million was given to C3 Venture Flint LLC by MSF for the, quote, creation of 380 jobs. A total of $14.2 million, creating 562 jobs.
So where are these jobs posted? Because in the water crisis, I was looking for work. I've been working my job since the water crisis. Where were these jobs posted? For who are they hiring? Where do these people live?
I haven't. I'm kind of like I'm flabbergasted. You know, you can hear my stuttering here. I had no idea.
I asked State Senator Jim Ananich about their concerns, and he says yes, the lawmakers gave them that money. But this wasn't actually money the lawmakers dished out to specifically help Flint.
But to say that it's a Flint water expense is just not the case. It's an economic development incentive that was given as it is across the state. And to put it under the Flint water, it's a mistake. I mean, I'm putting it nicely saying it's a mistake. It's misleading, obviously, to me.
The Flint senator says these expenses should have never been included in the report because the Michigan Strategic Fund is a branch of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which is part state-run and part privately owned.
I think that's the troubling part, is that this is a document, I think it was started under former Governor Snyder, and I believe it was set up to give the appearance of doing a substantial amount for Flint, when in reality a number of the things in that document would have happened no matter what, right?
Once again, the Flint senator claims the Rick Snyder administration used this website to dupe people into thinking more was being done for Flint's recovery than he says the former governor actually did.
I think trying to equate housing development or economic development and that's somehow related to the daily lives of people in Flint that were suffering from lead exposure that they had no fault in their own is disingenuous at best, and it's disgusting when you really think about it. It's in trying to inflate a number to pretend he did more for the people of Flint that were wronged by former Governor Snyder and his team it's very troubling.
So I asked, could this nearly $50 million set aside for economic development have instead helped replace pipes, provided bottled water, or health services to Flint families impacted by the water crisis?
This is one of those cases where you can't take this pot and put it over here.
People who live in the community and suffered through being poisoned by their government asked me, why was economic development even on anyone's minds in 2016?
I have friends whose children are disabled for life because of this lead, and we watch them decline week after week when they're drinking that water. Why isn't that money going to help them?
I took your questions to the state budget office, which oversees the spending report. Spokesman Kurt Weiss tells me this was a decision made under the Snyder administration, explaining the water crisis was a direct hit to the city's economy and the former administration was concerned.
One of the things that they were talking about was, home values in Flint have now gone down because of the water crisis. Businesses don't want to locate here now because of the water crisis. So the water crisis caused lots of economic downturn for the city. So, the thought was, how do you help the city recover?
I also reached out to the MEDC and they sent me this statement saying, in part, our commitment to empowering a community like Flint lies in our various community development initiatives, business development programs, infrastructure enhancement support, and our efforts to build a robust entrepreneurial ecosystem that fosters continued growth in the city and surrounding areas. But at the end of the day, residents say they have bigger problems in their day-to-day life.
Because the people who were affected most by the water crisis still don't come downtown. They don't come here. They don't go to the Ferris wheel. They don't support these businesses that are benefiting from their pain.
What's supposed to be a clear, straightforward breakdown of the state government's effort to bring Flint back instead is leaving residents angry. They tell me they wish they could have been a part of the conversation, deciding how to help them and their city recover, rather than once again having to trust the state government that put them in this position.
Now, we also spoke to the Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce on the importance of revitalizing downtown Flint in the wake of the water emergency. CEO Tim Herman points out, as the redevelopment of downtown Flint continues, not only does this help to shift the narrative about the area, but also investment and spending will have a multiplier effect, contributing to prosperity throughout Flint and Genesee County. To read the full statement and for a closer look at where your tax dollars have been distributed, click on this story on our website. You can also watch part 1 of this investigation to see how this process started and why it was so difficult for citizens to track the money.